Imagine this. You're 78 years old. You just survived a stroke that was supposed to kill you. Your kids think you're half dead in a nursing home bed. So they're already in a lawyer's office, laughing, splitting your beach house, your jewelry, your $8 million estate like you're already in the ground. But what they don't know is, you're not in that bed. You're standing right behind them, very much alive, with a brand new will in your hand that cuts every single one of them out forever, and gives every penny to strangers instead. And in exactly 30 seconds, I'm about to walk through that door and ruin their whole greedy little Christmas. Keep watching if you want to see the exact moment their faces realize they just lost everything. And the revenge that got 200 million views and made grown men cry in Walmart aisles. My name is Evelyn Harper, and this is the day I stopped being their piggy bank and started being their worst nightmare. Don't you dare skip. You're gonna need tissues and maybe a lawyer. Hit that subscribe button right now with notifications on, because this series is about to be the wildest family revenge you've ever seen. My name is Evelyn Harper, 78 years young, and 2 years ago I walked into a law office in Savannah, Georgia, ready to blow my own damn life wide open. Picture this, humid July afternoon, Spanish moss dripping from the oaks outside, ceiling fans spinning like they're trying to cool down the secrets in that room. I'm supposed to be half dead in a rehab bed after my stroke, right? That's what my kids thought. Instead I'm rolling in with my walker, sundress sticking to me, heart banging like a bass drum. The second I push that heavy door open, everything stops. My son Clayton freezes mid-sentence. My daughter Meredith drops her iced sweet tea. Glass shatters everywhere, tea splashing her designer sandals. The lawyer, Mr. Big Shot Brent, goes ghost white. They were divvying up my beach house on Tybee Island, my antique jewelry, the trust fund my late husband Ray and I busted our asses building for 50 years. And there I was, very much alive, listening to every greedy word. Clayton recovers first. Mama, you're walking, how did you? I just smile, slow and sweet as peach cobbler. Surprise, baby. You should have seen Meredith's face. Pure panic, like she'd seen a ghost who still had the deed to the haunted house. I roll myself right up to the head of that mahogany table, park my walker like it's a Ferrari and pull a thick envelope from my purse. Inside, brand new will, signed, sealed, witnessed, notarized. $0 to Clayton, 0 to Meredith, not 1 red cent to the grandkids who only FaceTimed me when they needed tuition money. Instead, every penny, almost 8 million, is going to the Harper Haven Foundation, a home and legal fund for old ladies who got forgotten by their own blood. Women just like me who woke up one day and realized their kids were counting the silver while they were still breathing. The room explodes. Clayton's yelling about dementia. Meredith's crying those fake crocodile tears that dried up the day she turned 30. Brent, the lawyer, is sweating through his seersucker suit, trying to explain capacity and undue influence. I just sit there, calm as the Savannah River on a good day, letting them scream themselves hoarse. Because here's the thing nobody saw coming. I'd been planning this for 18 months. While they thought I was napping in that nursing home, I was wide awake, listening, taking notes, building a whole new family out of the nurses, aides, and little Miss Lily, my 13-year-old great-grandbaby who actually showed up just to hold my hand and paint my toenails glitter pink. And right there in that law office, with my useless kids losing their minds, I felt something I hadn't felt in decades. Free. I looked Clayton dead in the eye and said, "You want to know why you're cut out? Because the last time you visited, you asked if I'd updated my living will before you even asked if I could feel my left arm again." The silence after that, you could hear the ghosts of every Confederate soldier buried in Savannah clapping. But y'all, that was just the first match I struck. Wait till you hear what I did next when they tried to have me declared incompetent in court. Oh honey, you're gonna need tissues and a stiff drink. The stroke hit me like a freight train on a rainy Tuesday in March. 1 minute I'm watering my hydrangeas on the front porch, humming Old Aretha. The next I'm on the ground staring up at thunderclouds, my whole left side gone numb. I remember thinking, Lord, if this is it, at least let me go out with good hair. I know, even half paralyzed, I'm still vain. They rushed me to Memorial Hospital. Clayton and Meredith swooped in like vultures in Lululemon. Doctors are talking blood clots, rehab, speech therapy. My kids are whispering in the hallway about power of attorney and who gets the beach house keys. I'm doped up on blood thinners but not deaf. Every word floated through that flimsy curtain like smoke. The real wake-up call came from Keisha, my night nurse. Sweet girl from Atlanta with braids down to her waist and zero filter. One night she's adjusting my IV and hears Clayton on speakerphone asking the social worker how fast they can move me to the cheaper nursing home, once mom's not mentally all there. Keisha looked me dead in my one working eye and said, "Miss Evelyn, they counting your money louder than they praying for your soul." That sentence cracked something open inside me. Tears rolled sideways down my temple into my ear, couldn't even wipe them myself, but those tears weren't sad, they were angry, hot, gasoline. For weeks I played possum. I let them think the stroke took my fight. I drooled on cue when Meredith popped in for her 15-minute photop visits. I let Clayton pat my hand and call me poor mama, while he Googled average life expectancy after stroke on his phone right in front of me. Every fake kiss on my forehead was another brick in the wall I was building. Meanwhile, Keisha became my secret weapon. She'd wheel me down to the therapy gym after hours, prop my phone up, and let me video call a new lawyer I found online, Ms. Tamara Jones, sharp as a switchblade and raised by a single grandma so she got it. We worked in 30-minute chunks because that's all the feeling I had in my right hand before it cramped. Tamara never once talked to me like I was broken. She talked to me like I was dangerous. I loved her for it. By the time they moved me to Magnolia Gardens rehab, cheaper place Clayton picked because it was 20 minutes farther from his golf club, I already had the bones of the new will. Everything to the Harper Haven Foundation, board of directors, Keisha, Tamara, and this is the knife twist nobody saw coming, my great-grandbaby Lily. The only one who ever crawled into that hospital bed, just to lay her head on my chest and cry, because she was scared of losing me. I signed the final draft on a Tuesday, same day of the week the stroke tried to kill me. Pen shook like a leaf but the signature held. Tamara slid the papers into a fireproof envelope and whispered, "Miss Evelyn, you just became the storm." You'll think that lawyer's office showdown was wild. Wait till you hear how Clayton tried to get me declared legally dead inside my own body, and how little 13-year-old Lily shut the whole circus down with 6 words. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. Mine came ice cold with a side of courtroom air conditioning and a garnish of my son's face turning the color of boiled shrimp. 3 months after I signed the new will, Clayton and Meredith decided I was too confused to know my own name. They filed emergency papers to have me declared incompetent, wanted guardianship, control of every dime, and get this, the power to rip up my new will like it was a grocery list. Their star witness, some fancy neurologist from Atlanta, they paid more per hour than most folks make in a week. Court day rolled around, humid as Satan's sauna. I'm wheeled in wearing my Sunday best, coral lipstick sharp enough to cut glass, pearls Ray gave me on our 40th anniversary, and a smirk I practiced in the mirror for weeks. Keisha's pushing the chair, Lily's holding my hand so tight her little knuckles are white, and Tamara Jones, my lawyer, is strutting in like she owns the courthouse, because today she basically does. The judge is this no-nonsense black woman, Judge Carter, hair in a bun so tight it could deflect bullets. Clayton's lawyer starts painting me like I'm one cough away from the dementia ward, shows videos of me confused right after the stroke, videos Meredith took while I was literally high on morphine, y'all. He calls me poor Mrs. Harper about 19 times. I almost threw my purse at him. Then it's Tamara's turn. She wheels me right up to the witness stand myself. No hiding behind lawyers today. Judge Carter leans forward, eyes kind but sharp. "Mrs. Harper, can you tell us in your own words what you want?" I clear my throat, voice still a little raspy from the stroke, but honey it carries. "Your Honor, I may walk slow and talk slower, but my mind is clearer than it's been in 30 years. My children want me quiet and grateful while they auction my life off on Zillow. I'm here to tell them and the whole world I'm still the woman who buried a husband, raised 2 ungrateful kids, and paid every bill with a smile. And I'm not done yet." The courtroom goes dead silent. You could hear a bobby pin drop. Then Tamara drops the hammer. Bank statements showing Clayton used my credit card for his Vegas bachelor party redo. He's 52, y'all. Text from Meredith asking the realtor, "How soon can we list the beach house once mom's in memory care?" And the kicker, video from Magnolia Gardens where I'm secretly recording Clayton telling me, "Mama, just sign here and we'll make sure you're comfortable," while sliding a blank power of attorney form under my shaky hand. Judge Carter looks like she's 2 seconds from climbing over the bench and whooping somebody herself. But the moment that broke the internet, when 13-year-old Lily Pigtails braces and all the fire of 1,000 suns asks permission to speak, judge lets her. Lily stands up, voice cracking at first, then steady as steel. My nana taught me that family isn't just who you're born to, it's who shows up when you can't even hold a spoon. Y'all didn't show up. Keisha did, Miss Tamara did, I did, so maybe stop crying about money and start crying about the fact you're about to lose the best woman you never deserved. She sat down, somebody in the back started slow clapping, then the whole room lost it. Case dismissed in 12 minutes flat. Clayton looked like he'd been sucker-punched by an angel. But y'all, the real fireworks didn't start until 6 months later, when I showed up alive and fabulous to the official reading of the will they thought was already torn up. 6 months after the courtroom beatdown, I'm supposed to be tucked away in some beige nursing home, sipping applesauce and watching Matlock reruns. That's what Clayton and Meredith told everybody at their fancy country club. Mama's comfortable now, bless her heart. Yeah, bless their lying hearts. Truth is, I'm living my best life in a little yellow cottage on Wilmington Island, bought cash with money they never knew I had stashed in a separate account since 1987. Ray always said, baby, keep a mad money fund they can't touch. Smart man, my Ray. I'm stronger now. Still use a cane, but it's hot pink with rhinestones Keisha bedazzled for me. I walk the beach every morning, collect shark teeth, and laugh at the sunrise because I damn near didn't live to see another one. The official will reading is set for a Friday at 10 a.m. in Brent's stuffy office downtown. My kids think they're about to pop champagne and start picking out new boats. Meredith even brought her realtor, just to get measurements for the beach house the second the ink dries. Girl showed up in white jeans like she's already on vacation. I let Keisha drive me. We pull up in my new pearl-white Cadillac, vanity plates say SDLLHEI. Lily, in the backseat wearing a sundress and the biggest grin you ever saw. We walk in 10 minutes late on purpose. Heels clicking, cane tapping, pure main character energy. Brent's reading the old will first, the one from 2018 where Clayton and Meredith split everything 50-50. They're practically drooling. Clayton's already texting the Porsche dealership. Meredith's fake crying into a monogrammed handkerchief. Then Brent clears his throat, confused, because there's a second, thicker envelope marked, superseding last will and testament of Evelyn Rose Harper, dated 1 year ago, witnessed, notarized and video recorded for extra spice. The room temperature drops 20 degrees. He starts reading my words out loud. My voice, recorded the day I signed it, plays on the TV screen we had set up special. There I am on video, sitting tall, hair done, lipstick popping, looking straight into the camera. To my children, Clayton and Meredith, I loved you with every beat of my heart, but love isn't a blank check. You stopped seeing me and started seeing a piggy bank. So I'm giving my money to women who still have fight left in them, women the world tried to make invisible. Every brick of my houses, every dollar Ray and I saved, goes to the Harper Haven Foundation. You'll get the family Bible and whatever's left in my kitchen junk drawer. Spend it wisely. Meredith screams, actually screams like she's in a horror movie. Clayton stands up so fast his chair flips backward. He's yelling about forgery, elder abuse, Keisha brainwashing me. Keisha just leans over and whispers, loud enough for the whole room, baby, I can't even get her to take her blood pressure pills on time. Good luck proving I brainwashed her into $8 million worth of petty. Lily loses it laughing, 13 going on 30 that one. Brent tries to calm everybody down, but I just raise my cane like a queen's scepter and say, meeting over, darlings. I've got a lunch reservation and a life to keep living. We walk out while Meredith is ugly crying into her realtor's blouse. But y'all, the real tearjerker, the part that had 2 million views in the first weekend the video leaked, is what happened on the courthouse steps right after. We didn't just open the Harper Haven Foundation, we detonated it into existence like the 4th of July on steroids. 6 weeks after the will reading, I'm standing on the front porch of a gorgeous old Victorian on Jones Street, the one tourists call the most photographed street in Savannah. Spanish moss dripping, wraparound porch rocking chairs painted teal, and a brand new brass plaque that says Harper Haven, a safe harbor for women the world forgot. Cameras everywhere. Local news, Good Morning America, even some TikTok kid with 3 million followers who kept calling me Queen Evelyn. I let him live. Inside we've got 8 bedrooms, a legal clinic, a beauty salon, because dignity starts with a good blowout, and a kitchen that smells like Sunday dinner every day. First resident, Miss Lorraine, 82, whose son tried to dump her at a gas station with $20 and a grocery bag of clothes. She walked in clutching a picture of her late husband and cried when she saw her room had the exact same blue quilt her mama made her in 1957. I held her while she shook, and I swear I felt Ray smiling down. Opening day, I'm wearing a white suit with gold buttons, hair stacked high, looking like I could run for mayor and win. Lily's beside me in a little matching blazer we had made special. Keisha's on my other side holding the biggest pair of scissors you ever saw. The ribbon is gold. The crowd is packed shoulder to shoulder down the sidewalk. And guess who's stuck on the other side of the police barricade, looking like they swallowed sour milk? Clayton and Meredith's. They showed up thinking a public scene would shame me into giving them anything. Meredith's got on sunglasses big enough to hide half of Georgia and a sign that says "Honor thy mother." Real subtle girl. I step up to the microphone, voice steady, heart racing like it's prom night. Y'all, family ain't always the people you share DNA with. Sometimes family is the nurse who sneaks you real coffee when the doctor says decaf. Sometimes it's the lawyer who works pro bono because she believes old ladies still matter. Sometimes it's the 13-year-old who paints your toes glitter pink because she wants you to feel pretty again. I turn and look straight at my kids. Clayton, Meredith, I want y'all to see this. Every woman who walks through these doors from today forward is getting the love, respect, and protection you decided I didn't need. You wanted my money, I'm giving away my heart instead. And honey, it's worth so much more. The crowd loses their minds. People are crying, cheering, filming. Somebody starts chanting Miss Evelyn, and it spreads like wildfire. Meredith drops her fake sign and runs to her Range Rover. Clayton just stands there, mouth opening and closing like a largemouth bass on a dock. Then little Lily grabs the mic from me, stands on a chair so everybody can see her, and yells, "My Nana always said you reap what you sow. Looks like today we're planting magnolias and y'all stuck with weeds." The internet exploded. That clip hit 50 million views in 4 days. Plant magnolias trended for a week. But the part that still makes me cry every time I watch it back, Miss Lorraine, first resident, walks up, takes my face in her shaky hands, kisses both my cheeks, and whispers loud enough for the mic to catch, "Thank you for seeing me when my own blood went blind." I'm not ashamed to say I bawled like a baby right there on live television. Y'all think that's the happy ending? Oh no, sugar. Wait till you hear what Clayton tried to pull the night before Christmas, thinking he could sneak in and guilt me one last time. Christmas Eve, 2 years after the stroke. The whole city's lit up like a Hallmark movie, carriage rides, garland on every lamppost, hot chocolate thick enough to stand a spoon in. I'm at the yellow cottage, fairy lights twinkling, Ella Fitzgerald spinning on the record player, and about 30 Harper Haven ladies crammed in for our first annual chosen family Christmas. Miss Lorraine, wearing the ugliest reindeer sweater you ever saw and loving every second of it. Keisha's deep-frying a turkey on the porch like it's Mardi Gras. Lily's passing out gifts we wrapped in newspaper because we spent the real money on legal fees for 3 new residents who just escaped their own greedy kids. Doorbell rings at 8:17 p.m. I open it expecting another delivery of pecan pies from grateful neighbors. Instead there's Clayton standing on my welcome mat in a brand new camel coat, holding a poinsettia the size of Rhode Island. Eyes red, voice soft, the whole repentant prodigal son routine. "Mama, can we talk? Just 5 minutes, it's Christmas." For one heartbeat I almost feel sorry for him. Almost. Then I remember him telling the judge I couldn't tell time anymore. I step aside. 5 minutes, shoes off, you track mud, Keisha will make you mop. He walks in, takes one look at 30 grandmas in Santa hats raising their eggnog to him like they're toasting the Grinch, and his face crumples. Lily appears beside me holding a plate of cookies shaped like middle fingers, her idea, my execution. She doesn't say a word, just offers him one. He declines. Clayton starts the waterworks. Says Meredith's in therapy, his marriage is falling apart, the country club dropped him, people whisper when he walks into Publix. He's broke, Mama. The dealership took back the Porsche. He even tried to sell the family Bible on eBay and nobody bid. Then he drops to one knee right there between the Christmas tree and Miss Lorraine's walker and begs, "Just a loan, Mama, 100,000 to get me straight. I'll sign anything, I'm so sorry." The room goes quieter than a church mouse with asthma. I let him kneel. Let the silence stretch until it's uncomfortable for everybody except me. Then I lean down real slow, pat his cheek like he's 6 years old again and say, "Baby boy, the only thing I'm loaning tonight is mercy, and you done used up your lifetime supply." Keisha appears with her phone already recording. She's been live streaming to the Harper Haven private group for the ladies who couldn't travel. 30 phones pop up like periscopes. Clayton realizes he's on camera and tries to stand. Miss Lorraine hooks her cane around his ankle and yanks him back down. "Sit, boo, we ain't done." I reach under the tree, pull out a red envelope and hand it to him. Inside, a single check for $2,500, exact amount he spent on bottle service the weekend I was in ICU. On the memo line I wrote, "For therapy, Merry Christmas, love the piggy bank." He stares at it like it's on fire. I smile the sweetest smile Savannah ever saw and say, "Now get your coat, Clayton. Santa's already been here and you ain't on the nice list." He stands, tears and snot mixing, and walks out into the cold without another word. Door shuts. Record player flips to Have Yourself a Merry Little Now. The whole room erupts. Miss Lorraine actually twerks with her walker. Lily high-fives every grandma in sight. That video, 200 million views before New Year's. Piggy Bank Christmas trended worldwide. But y'all, the real miracle happened 3 months later, on a random Tuesday in March, when the person I never expected knocked on my door holding nothing but a casserole and a broken heart. It was a Tuesday in late March, the kind of day where the azaleas explode pink and the air smells like heaven just opened a bakery. I'm on the porch swing sipping coffee thick enough to patch a roof when a beat-up silver Camry pulls into my driveway. Door creaks open and out steps Meredith. Not the polished, highlighted Range Rover Meredith. This one's wearing Walmart leggings, hair in a messy knot, no makeup, eyes so puffy she looks like she lost a fight with a beehive. She's clutching a Pyrex dish like it's a life raft. I don't move, just watch her walk up the steps slow like she's scared the porch might bite. She stops at the bottom, voice barely above a whisper. "Mama, I brought squash casserole, the way Daddy liked it, extra onions." My throat tightens, Ray's favorite. She hasn't made it since his funeral 12 years ago. I nod toward the swing. "Sit if you want, dish can go inside later." She sits. We rock in silence for a full 5 minutes, long enough for 2 hummingbirds to fight over the feeder and Keisha to peek out the window, give me the "you need me to drag her" eyebrow. I shake my head. Finally Meredith speaks, voice cracking like thin ice. "I sold the beach house, Mama. The one you and Daddy built board by board, needed the money to pay lawyers and to keep the lights on. I stood in the kitchen where you taught me to make biscuits, and I cried so hard the realtor thought I was crazy." Tears roll down her cheeks, big and ugly and real. First real ones I've seen from her in decades. I thought if I had the money I'd finally feel safe. Turns out all I feel is empty. Clayton hates me. My kids barely speak to me. I drive past Harper Haven every day on the way to my crappy job at the Mall, and I see those ladies laughing on the porch, and I'm jealous. I'm jealous of women I used to call charity cases. She looks at me, mascara streaking, 48 going on 80. "I was horrible to you. I counted your money while you were fighting to breathe. I don't deserve forgiveness, I know that. I needed you to know I'm sorry. And if you never want to see me again, I get it. I just had to say it to your face while I still have the guts." The Pyrex dish trembles in her lap. I take a long sip of coffee, let the silence stretch again, then I reach over and pop the lid off the casserole. Smell hits me like a hug from 1989. My eyes burn. I scoop a bite with my finger, manners be damned, and taste it. Perfect, exactly like Ray's smile in food form. I look at her and say the sentence I never thought I'd say. "Bring that dish inside, baby. Keisha's gonna need the recipe, and you're staying for supper." She sobs so hard she almost falls off the swing. But here's the part that wrecked the entire internet when the security camera footage leaked. I open my arms and my daughter, my angry, broken, lost little girl, crawls into them like she's 6 years old again. We rock there on that swing until the sun starts to sink, and the casserole's cold and both our faces are soaked. Forgiveness ain't free, it ain't easy, but sometimes it tastes like squash and onions and second chances. Y'all thought this story was over. Oh honey, wait till you see what happened the day Meredith moved into Harper Haven herself. 6 months after the porch swing breakdown, Meredith showed up at Harper Haven with nothing but 2 duffel bags, her grandma's quilt, and eyes that finally looked human again. She didn't ask for money, she didn't ask for the beach house back, she asked for a job. I'll scrub toilets, answer phones, peel potatoes, whatever you need, Mama. I don't know how to be a person anymore. Teach me. I stared at her for a long beat, then I handed her a mop and pointed at the dining hall. Floor's filthy, start there. Y'all, the first week was pure comedy gold. Meredith, who once had her nails done every Thursday, is on her hands and knees scraping oatmeal off linoleum, while Miss Lorraine times her with a stopwatch and yells, "Faster, princess." Keisha live streams it to the residents' group chat titled Redemption or Bust. The ladies place bets on how many days before she quits. Nobody gives her more than 4. She lasts 40. By month 2 she's running the front desk, charming donors with that fake country club smile turned genuine. By month 4 she's teaching a class called Estate Planning for Dummies, because, honey, she learned the hard way what not to do to your mama. The residents adore her. They call her baby girl and sneak her extra dessert when they think I'm not looking. Then came the night that turned the whole house upside down. We're in the big living room, fire crackling, about 20 of us doing our weekly Tell the Truth circle. One rule: you say the ugliest thing you ever did and nobody judges. Miss Lorraine admitted stealing her sister's boyfriend in 1962. Keisha confessed she once sold her cousin's wedding dress on Facebook Marketplace for rent money. My turn rolls around and I tell them about the day I almost changed the will back, almost gave Clayton another chance the week after Christmas, because guilt is a hell of a drug. Then it's Meredith's turn. She stands up, shaking like a leaf, and says, "I tried to have my own mother declared dead while she was still breathing. I told the judge she couldn't think straight because I wanted her beach house more than I wanted her alive. I'm the villain in every story she ever told on the internet, and I'm only sitting here tonight because she loved me more than I ever loved her." The room is so quiet you can hear the fire breathing. Then Miss Lorraine, 84 years old and zero chill, stands up, walks over and slaps Meredith across the face. Not hard, just enough to sting. "That's for Evelyn," she says. Then she hugs her so tight Meredith's feet leave the ground. "That's for you, baby girl. Now sit down and pass the cookies. Villains get cookies too when they tell the truth." Meredith cried so hard she hiccuped. Every grandma in the room piled on her like a rugby scrum of love and Bengay. Even I got dragged into the dog pile. We laughed, we ugly cried, we ate 3 sleeves of Oreos. That video, somebody's phone propped on the mantle, hit 1 billion views. The caption just said, "This is what healing looks like when nobody pretends to be perfect." But the real magic, the part that still makes me tear up every single morning, happened on a random Thursday when the postman delivered one single letter addressed to me in shaky handwriting. The envelope was plain white, no return address, postmarked from a little town outside Charleston. My hands shook when I saw the handwriting. I hadn't seen it in years, but I'd know it anywhere. I carried it out to the porch at sunrise, coffee in one hand, letter in the other. Keisha and Meredith were still asleep. Lily was at a sleepover, the house quiet except for the birds losing their minds over spring. I slit it open with my thumbnail and pulled out 3 pages of yellow legal paper, folded tight. It started with just 2 words, big and crooked. "Dear Mama." I read it once and had to sit down hard on the swing. Then I read it again, slower, letting every word burn its way in. Clayton wrote that he'd been sober 93 days, that he was living in a halfway house, working nights stocking shelves at a Walmart, going to meetings in a church basement that smelled like burnt coffee and second chances. He wrote that he watched the Harper Haven videos on a cracked phone every single night before lights out, especially the one where Meredith got slapped and hugged in the same breath. Said he played it on mute so the other guys wouldn't see him cry. He told me about the first time he walked into that church basement and some old man handed him a styrofoam cup of coffee and said, "Son, you don't have to be the man your kids hate tonight. You just gotta be the man who shows up tomorrow." Clayton said he thought of me right then, because that's what I did after the stroke. I showed up, over and over, even when nobody deserved it. He apologized for every single thing: the Vegas trip on my credit card, the power of attorney form he slid under my paralyzed hand, the way he told the judge I was gone upstairs, while I was sitting right there listening. He wrote that he finally understood the difference between inheritance and legacy, and that he'd spent his whole life trying to steal the first while I was busy building the second. Last page was only 4 lines. I don't deserve to call you Mama. I don't deserve to step foot in your house. But if you ever find room for one more broken person who's trying to learn how to be human again, I'll be waiting on the porch with my own mop. Love always. Your son Clayton. I sat there until the coffee went cold and the sun climbed high enough to warm my old bones. Then I did something I hadn't done since the day Ray died. I cried the good kind of tears, the kind that wash everything clean. I folded the letter, tucked it in my pocket next to my heart and walked inside. Meredith was at the kitchen table peeling potatoes for breakfast. She took one look at my face and the envelope sticking out of my pocket and knew. He wrote, she whispered. I nodded. She dropped the peeler, wiped her hands on a dish towel, and asked the question I'd been asking myself since the first word. What are you gonna do, Mama? I smiled, slow and sure. I'm gonna make room. Because redemption ain't a limited time offer. It's a porch swing big enough for whoever finally decides to come home. It was the first Saturday in October, the kind of golden morning where the light feels like God himself is smiling on Savannah. The whole house smelled like bacon, biscuits and fresh start. I told nobody he was coming. Not Meredith, not Keisha, not even Lily. I just put one extra plate on the big farmhouse table at 8:00 a.m. and waited. At 8:47 the doorbell rang, one single ring, soft like he was scared to wake the dead. I opened it and there stood Clayton, 40 pounds lighter, hair buzzed short, wearing a plain white t-shirt and the same nervous eyes he had the day he was born. In his hands, a mop bucket from Dollar General and a small paper bag. He couldn't even speak at first, just looked at me and started crying, quiet, shoulders shaking. I stepped aside. Come on in, baby, breakfast is hot. He walked through that door like he was walking into church after 20 years gone. Every resident was already seated. Word travels fast when Miss Lorraine's involved. 20 grandmas, Keisha, Meredith, Lily, all staring. You could have heard a pin drop on carpet. Clayton set the bucket down, opened the paper bag and pulled out a single coffee mug. Plain white, hand-painted on the side in shaky blue letters, World's Okayest Son. He held it out to me with both hands like it was solid gold. I made it in ceramics at the halfway house, he said, voice cracking. It's the only thing I've finished in 15 years. I took the mug, turned it over in my hands and felt the tears coming again. Then I did what nobody expected. I set it on the table right next to my own coffee, poured him a cup and pointed to the empty chair. Sit down, Okayest son, you're late and the bacon's getting cold. Meredith stood up so fast her chair fell over. For one terrifying second I thought she was gonna bolt. Instead she walked straight to her brother, looked him dead in the eye and slapped him across the face, same cheek Miss Lorraine got months ago. That's for Mama, she said. Then she threw her arms around him and sobbed into his shoulder so hard his shirt was soaked in 10 seconds flat. That's for me, you big dumb idiot, don't you ever leave again. Lily, my fierce little warrior, ran over, climbed into her daddy's lap like she was 5 instead of 15 and whispered, I missed you, Daddy, but you gotta earn it now, starting with dishes. Clayton laughed through his tears. All of 'em, every night, I'm on dish duty till I'm 90. And just like that the dam broke. Grandmas were crying into their grits. Keisha was filming on one hand and hugging with the other. Somebody started singing Amazing Grace off-key and the rest joined in like a drunk choir. We ate until our bellies hurt. We told every ugly truth and every beautiful one. Clayton washed dishes while Meredith dried and Lily put them away. I sat at the table with my terrible, perfect, broken, healing family and drank coffee from the World's Okayest Son mug until it was empty. 3 years later that mug still sits on the table every single morning. Clayton runs the men's program we added to Harper Haven. Meredith teaches the classes. Lily's in college studying social work, and every holiday the house is too full, too loud, and exactly right. I'm 81 now, still walking the beach every sunrise, still collecting shark teeth, still proving you're never too old to rewrite the ending. So if you ever think it's too late, if your kids forgot you, if your body betrayed you, if your heart feels too heavy, remember this old Georgia woman who turned betrayal into a mansion full of love. You are not an asset. You are not a placeholder. You are the whole damn story. And honey, you still get to decide how it ends. Thank you for sitting on this porch swing with me for 10 parts. If this touched you, share it with one woman who needs to hear she's still got fight left. Now go drink your coffee, call somebody you love and live loud. This is Evelyn Rose Harper signing off, but never ever out. Y'all, I don't even know where you came from today. Thank you for sittin' on this porch swing with me. Thank you for cheerin' every time I stood up for myself. Thank you for cryin' with me when Meredith walked up those steps with that casserole. And when Clayton finally came home with that silly mug. So if this crazy ride meant something to you, if it reminded you that it's never too late to take your life back, or to forgive, or to love harder than you ever thought you could, do me one last little favor, sugar. Hit that subscribe button down below. It don't cost you a dime, but it means the world to this old lady right here. Let's keep this porch swing rockin' together. I love every single one of y'all. From the bottom of my twice broken, fully healed heart. Thank you for seeing me.